Greetings everybody, thank you for clicking on this video if you have done. So this is a vlog of the Sexological Bodywork vlog that I started some time ago when I began the training for this 6-month intensive Sexological Bodywork course. And I was planning at first to do these vlogs a little bit more consistently, but a number of different projects have been going alongside. So I want to bring you up to speed to where I am, and then as I go along I will share more with you. If you have any questions around sexological bodywork or what it is, or how you can get involved in the training yourself, then I'm putting in the bottom of this video all the links to different places where you can explore it for yourself. So now I am, how many months in? I'm a fair few months in. I'm basically on the 3rd module, and this 6-month intensive comprised of 3 modules. One module, the online training, which I mentioned maybe in the first video, and then the second module is you go in-house and you spend 2 weeks with the other students that are taking the training, and that's an intensive 2 weeks where every day you're doing practice, which is really the Orgasmic Yoga practice, or definitely coming into the body. So we've got the breath, sound and movement, and then throughout the day you're doing a lot of theory and practical, and then a lot of body work sessions. And I guess really it might be nice just to take you back from that place. That was a phenomenal 2 weeks. What can I say now in essence of what I took away or what I learned? So I learned the power of body work through experience, through practicing, by being in service to, and also by receiving body work. And this, if you don't know, or you haven't heard me, or you haven't heard anybody else say, so sexological bodywork is you are in service to the client. So the practice is client-led. So through good communication and ways of asking questions, you are led as a practitioner, you are led by the client. And so to give you an example of that, to do a bodywork session, you would come to me, for example, if it was me as your body worker, and there's an intake, and in that intake it's like a pretty much a sort of coaching session, but just around sexuality and what it is that you might want to explore on that specific day. And then from the intake you come up with a clear intention, and you set the course of the actual bodywork session, which could be an array of different things. It's not just genital touch or genital exploration. It's not just pleasure. It can be, you can be going into different areas of your body to explore scar tissue, for example, or certain pains in your body. You might want to explore them with certain loving touch. And through that intake, once you get the clear intention and the client feels safe to proceed, you then go into the bodywork session, which usually can run between, depending on what you set, you choose that as well. The client chooses how long it is, but minimum really has been an hour in my experience, to really go and actually longer in some of the sessions I've been doing since in the practicing. So the 3rd module is that you have to do a lot of 50 bodywork sessions or around that to create these pleasure points, and once you've got those, you've finished this 6 months training, and then you get your first certificate. And so after the intake you go into the bodywork session, and as I said, that can look like many different things depending on what you've agreed on with the client. And then at the end of that bodywork session you come out and you do an outtake. So the whole of a sort of really I would say a really good bodywork session from a sexological bodywork perspective is about 3 hours. And what makes the difference between sexological bodywork, or sex bod, let's just call it that, it's a bit easier abbreviated, is that sexological bodyworkers wear gloves. I don't have any on, obviously, but we wear gloves to do the practice. Now, if you're going for a tantric massage, or you're going for some other sort of body work, or even just a sports massage or whatever, you don't wear gloves. But with the sexological body worker, you wear gloves, especially, of course, on any touch of genitals. So you might do a little warm-up massage maybe without gloves, but ultimately as soon as you're starting to move into anywhere around the actual session, and especially around the genitals, you'll be wearing gloves. Now when I say client-led, what does that mean? For some people it's like, what does that actually mean? And this has been a profound learning for me, because I've been doing sports massage and massage for many years. So this has moved from the sort of sense of like somebody comes to me, asks for a massage, I give them a massage, and they just accept where I go. I might ask some questions, and I personally mix my massage with different techniques anyway, but I would just go off, and most people, if you're like me, you've been to massage before, you've paid your money, you go in, you get the massage, you come out, and sometimes you find it really difficult to tell the masseuse or masseur like what you really want, and even sometimes they might even ask you like, how is this, and you might just say, yeah, it's fine, but you don't actually tell them specifically what you want. Now with sexological bodywork, you're constantly in a dialogue, which in the beginning can seem quite contrived, but you're in a dialogue with each other, so you can go on this exploration. So for example, I as a body worker might say to you questions like, would you like it slower or faster? And then you would say faster or slower, and then you'd explore that. And I'd say, how is that? And then so you'd say slower or faster. So you'd keep going with the slow and fast to play around with the speed and the tempo. Then you might say firmer or softer. Would you like it firmer or softer? So just these like one question commands, so that the one experience in the bodywork can just say softer, harder, there, not there, and give these like clear directions of how they want to be touched. And if, for example, they're asking to be touched in a certain way, and then they stop giving you some communication, then as a practitioner, you can sort of stop doing the body work, and then wait for them to again lead you. So what happens is that they're literally, it's as if like my hands become the client's hands, and then they can explore with that, all in consent, all in tune with the intake, what's been agreed in the intake, and around your intention. And of course, as a practitioner, I'm also working with consent constantly. So if for example, a client asks anything that is out of consent for me, I can just say, that's not in consent for me. And again, that would be an agreement in the intake around consent. And consent is really key. If any of you have really been exploring about consent, this has also been another fascinating part of the training, is that the Wheel of Consent by Betty Martin. If you go to bettymartin.org and look at the four quadrants, or the wheel as it's termed, and have a little look at that. And she's an amazing woman who's sharing her gifts and sharing it all online, accessible for all to learn. And the Wheel of Consent really starts to bring in this new dialogue. So what Sexological Bodywork's doing is bringing in this new dialogue of consent, and getting clear on your yeses and nos, and getting clear on how to ask and navigate, and then go on this exploration of your body to find out the pleasure centers of your body, to find out how you like to be touched, how you don't like to be touched, and then so you start to explore your body in this beautiful way. And of course, that can release tension, it can release some old pain. It's not designed just for trauma release. That might happen, but of course, if lots of trauma comes up, we're then advised that you invite people to go to a trauma therapist. So we're not actually being trained in trauma therapy, but of course, when you start to do body work and you start to go into trapped emotions and thoughts and feelings and experiences in the body, that can trigger all sorts of different emotions. So there you go. It's a little update on this, just for keeping it under 10 minutes for this sex vlog, the Sexological Bodywork vlog 2. And in the next vlogs, I would like to share some experiences that I had personally with touch, through experience in bodywork, exploration of my anus, which I now call the rosebud, and how I've been now exploring by giving bodywork as part of the third module, and what's been coming up and what I've been uncovering through doing those practices. So if it's interesting you, like I said, and you might even want to explore more, you can look at the links below and go and explore these different websites that I've shared with other practitioners and body workers. And yeah, stay tuned for the next vlog. It's definitely opening me up to a whole new ways of pleasure. And I'll do a vlog just on Orgasmic Yoga as well, which is one of the key practices of sexological body work. And that has actually been truly profound. And some of you may have seen some of the videos I shared on that. You can also go to youtube.com/Dara and Simon, because that's where we're doing a lot of the relationship and sexological body work and the movement, breath and sound practices. So you can go over there as well. This is you're watching this one maybe on Simon on the sofa. So take care. Thanks for listening. Stay blessed. Keep breathing deep.